Hey guys, it is the day before our first show of the year and we are so happy, so excited and ready to get back in the show ring. But of course that also means that we are very busy today. The weather has not cooperated very well with us the last few weeks. It has been storming on and off and the wind has been incredibly heavy. So it's been really hard to film, really hard to get anything done. So I still have so much to do. I have to get the girls touched up and get their udders clipped. I have to get packed up. The trailer has to be packed up and ready to go for in the morning. We have to leave at 4 in the morning to get to Dothan, Alabama by 7 o'clock. Our show starts at 8 and we will be one of the first ones in the ring. So we need to be ready right on time. And I also need to clean up the stalls a little bit today because like I said, it's been storming really bad this week and last week and it's just really mucky. All right, so we have a lot to do today, so let's get started. Once I got a good hard look at the numbers for this show, which is the entries for this show, I decided that I'm only going to be taking 3 of our milkers and all 4 of our juniors. 2 of our younger milkers are our 1-year-olds, just aren't quite developed enough, aren't mature enough. I don't feel for this first show of the year, so they are going to stay home. But one of the does that we will be taking is Miss Peggy. She looks amazing. She is also the oldest of our first fresheners. She will be 2 June 1st. So we are going to show her in the milking yearling class a few times this year, and then this summer she will be in the milking 2-year-old class. So we are going to get her udder shaved down, make sure I didn't miss any spots. The white hairs, especially on them, they are so fine that it is really hard to get them the first time you clip. So the day before, I always try to make sure I can go back over it. She's done broke out. Let's not do that, Peggy. Okay, let's not do that. And I did not get the insides of her ears. We want to make sure we get those cut. You know, the insides of the ears, that's more of a showmanship thing. You don't have to clip them for open shows. But I just like to have them as clean looking as possible, even though we aren't doing showmanship. It is a pain though because they hate the insides of their ears messed with. Oops, sorry, babe. Oh, that tickled. Another once over, making sure I'm happy with how everything looks. All right, so it looks like I have all of the little spots that I missed the first time clipped. So now we are going to move on to the udder. Okay, so with udder clips, you want to use a very short blade, like a 40. And you just want to follow the natural shape of the udder and just shave super, super close. And then we will go back later this afternoon with a razor and really define it and clean it up. And I will say it is a lot easier to do this when they are full later on before I milk them, I'll probably go back again and just do any touch-ups that need to be done. You're just getting that hair as short as you can, just so when you go back and you shave it, it's a lot easier to shave. And shaving isn't something that you have to do. Some people don't do it, especially for places where it is still cold at this time of year. But it just gives your does a much more polished look. And from my experience, it helps them stand out a little bit better when their udders are shaved completely. All right, so now I'm gonna do the fore udder, which is the area of the udder in front of the leg. And this she's probably not gonna appreciate. All right now, Peggy. Okay, and you want to make sure that you raise the leg and get the space in between. All right up in here. Okay. And this is, of course, Peggy's first real udder clip, so she is not exactly used to the feeling of the razor on her udder, so that's kind of why she's jumping around a little bit. Do this other side. Peggy, stop. Peggy, stop. All right, so she's all clipped up and ready to go for now until we get her back on the stand this afternoon to razor it when she's good and full. Okay, so next up is Cami, and I've already done my touch-ups on her. So we are just going to get started clipping that udder. It is no secret that Cami does not exactly like me doing anything with her. She is more Dylan's goat, which is fine by me. She is a super sweet goat, but she kind of expects things to be done the way she likes it done. And if you don't do it that way, then she kind of spazzes out on you. And unfortunately for me, I just don't do things the way Cami likes things done. You want to go against the hair growth so you get the most hair off as you can. And just follow the natural contours of her udder. Some showmen will tell you that you need to clip way up here past the arch, the natural arch of the udder, in order to show off the escutcheon. But really what they are trying to do is make their doe's escutcheon look higher than it actually is, which I know Cami for a fact has a low escutcheon, but no shave job is going to change that. So it is far better, in my opinion, to show off their natural height than to try to fake it, because a judge is going to see straight through that anyway. Stop. 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 I'm gonna put some hobbles on you, not quit. And just make sure you're being super careful when you do the teats. You don't want to nick them. They definitely won't appreciate that when it comes milking time. All right, so I would say she is done and looking good. So let's go on to the last senior doe that we'll be taking today. Okay, so last up is Razzle. This girl has been the bane of my existence so far this year. She is a 1-year-old first freshener. She just turned a year old in February. So she is technically the youngest of our girls, our seniors, but she is one of the most growthy does. She's every bit as big as Peggy already, and Peggy is about to turn 2 in just a few months. But you know, being a first freshener, being a yearling, she hasn't done all the things nearly as much. She doesn't have the experience milking or the experience being shaved. Will you stop hitting me with your tail? She must be getting attacked by a fly. But anyway, she does not have as much experience as the other girls do. So she is just a little bit crazier than the other does. This wind, y'all, is excruciating. Okay, but anyways, I fully expect her to act up today. So let's just get into it and get it over with and be done with her, okay? And Razel has all of these extra swirls of hair on her udder, and it makes it even harder to cut them. So that's fun. Make sure I get all of those hairs by the tail. Sometimes those can be easily missed. Especially on does that like to dance a lot like she does. And we're getting close down to the teats now. This is the part they usually do not like. Honestly, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, she's being better than I expected her to. And she has so much loose skin on her udder. It is so hard to really get in there and clip. Okay, let's try to get this fore udder and these sides and be done with her. Please don't kick me in the face. Ooh, you're okay. And when I'm doing the fore udder, I do go a little bit farther than where the fore udder actually stops. It just helps the blending of the hairs with the body. Makes it look neater, cleaner. You've got to be kidding me. Alright, well my trimmers just died, so I guess we are done with this. Okay guys, so we are done trimming up the udders now. On the seniors that we are taking, we have decided to only take those 3. So now we have to get our trailer packed up so we can head out early in the morning. So let's get going with that. Okay, so I have most everything packed and sat behind me here. I'm just gonna kind of go over what exactly I have packed and what we'll be taking for this one-day show. So this is not a complete list of what we take for shows, but this is just what we will need for tomorrow. So I have a regular toolbox that we bought from Walmart, and we just used it for all of our show supplies. So starting with the bottom, this is just for odds and ends. I have first aid kit. We have some rope in here, paper towels, a couple of trash bags, and all of our holding supplies for the goats to hold them ringside while we're waiting for them to go in. Alright, so the next section, so this is where I put all of our grooming supplies. So we have hoof trimmers, probiotics. That's not really a grooming thing, but I do keep them in here. And baby wipes, fly spray, and of course brushes. This is a body brush, and we use this to clean hooves off with. So we have both of those that we take with us. Go ahead and lock that in place. Make sure those are locked too. Alright. Okay, so in the top, this is where we keep syringes and needles in case we take any medication, which I don't think I'll be taking any this time since it is a one-day show. We just keep this packed in here. I've got some lotion. I use that lotion for udders after we shave them, just to keep them soft and razor burn, to prevent that. And of course we have all of our show collars, which this actually is not all of our show collars. I have to find the rest, but that's what I have packed right now. And we also have clips and things. Alright, so that is it. I've probably forgotten a few things that I'll go back and add, but that's what I can think of right now anyway. Alright, so that's all packed up. I'm going to get that on the trailer. We have a few more things that we have to pack there, so I will take you over there to the trailer and let you see what we've got. Alright, so here we are at our trailer. We've got the majority of it loaded up already. Like I said, we don't need a whole lot. In the very back there, we have the kid pen and a bale of perennial peanut hay. That is what we feed the does while they're in milk. We could use something like alfalfa, but it's really hard to get and really expensive here in the South. It's about $25 a bale, whereas the peanut hay is $12. So we prefer to use that. It is a legume hay. It is not peanut vine hay. This is not what you get from the actual peanut plant. It's a completely different plant. But anyways, that is what we feed them. They do really well on it. They milk really well on it. It helps fill them out for shows. And we also have their dairy feed in here. The dairy pellets that we feed when we're at shows, we give them free choice. And we also give them free choice beet pulp. The beet pulp, again, helps fill them out for shows. It increases their water intake. And we have noticed a real difference between feeding them the beet pulp and not feeding them the beet pulp at shows. And we definitely prefer beet pulp all the way. So we have scoopers, buckets for feed and water, and of course the hay bag to put that perennial peanut hay in. Then we have our toolbox back there, and you know, we're gonna get our milk buckets after we're done milking tonight and pack those. But other than that, I think that's about it. I think that's all we're going to take this time. We're not gonna take the milk stand or anything. Oh, Dylan is bringing me the Gatorade powder. In the show book. Yes, I need that. So Dylan brought me the Gatorade powder. This is what we use at shows to put in their water to help make sure that they are drinking an adequate amount. If your does don't like the taste of the water at the shows, which tends to happen a lot because the barns sometimes use chlorinated water, or, you know, if your does are used to well water, if you're on well water and they of course do not have well water at your show, then your does might not want to drink as much. And if they do not drink, then they are not filling out, they are not making milk. So we have to make sure, if anything else, that our does are drinking water. So we use the Gatorade powder. It's cheap, they like it, they love the taste of it. You can also use like horse electrolytes, or there is also a product called Blue Light that you can use. There's a few others on the market, but that's just the ones that I know of right offhand. Those are going to be more expensive. Of course, the Blue Light and things like that, that has added electrolytes in it, specifically formulated for goats. So a lot of show people like to use that. But my does do really get well on the Gatorade. We've not had any problems with it. And it doesn't matter on the flavor. We just like to get the blue because that's what we can find on Amazon really cheap. But my understanding is that goats like the red Gatorade also. I've heard that a lot of goats do not like the lemon lime, so I would stay away from that one if you're going to try the Gatorade. Either stick with the blue or the red. Those seem to be the ones that they prefer, because we all know that goats are super picky. But anyways, we are going to get this loaded up, get this finished, and then we will be ready to go to the show tomorrow, guys. We are going to head out at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to try my best to film the show, at least in our rings, at least the rings that we will be showing in. You know, I'm not exactly sure yet how busy I'm gonna be, so we'll just see what happens. But that is my plan for the next video, is to show you guys inside the show ring and how that process goes. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see future content from us, if you want to see those show videos. And I've got a couple of really cool videos coming up, a beginner dairy goat series for those that are interested in buying dairy goats or getting into the hobby. So just stay tuned for all of that. I'm going to try my best to start getting those out a little bit quicker. Hopefully the weather cooperates with me. But I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will chat with y'all soon. Bye.